right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Heather Deer, and I'm the Director of Family Engagement here at William and Mary. Welcome back to our Tribe Transition webinar series. Today, we're going to be talking all things dining at William and Mary. So you're going to get a great introduction to our dining program from dining representatives here at William and Mary. Like always, this session is being recorded and will be available to you probably tomorrow. You'll see it either in your email inbox on Friday, or you can know as soon as we upload it to our YouTube channel if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just a reminder that Q&A is open, so you can submit your questions throughout the session. We'll take as many questions as we have time for after our presenters get through their content for the day. Before we dive in, though, I have a few quick housekeeping reminders. We are getting so close to move-in and orientation. I know that you all are diligently working on your packing lists and Tribe Guide checklists and all of the to-dos before you're ready to go. Please make sure to add to that to-do list to register for family orientation if you have not already. Knowing how many families we can anticipate to have on campus helps the entire campus prepare for your arrival. If you're wondering, why would I attend family orientation? It's a wonderful program to give you a foundational understanding of all of the support resources available for your student. Get some of your questions answered before you leave campus and leave your student here at William and Mary. And our biggest piece of feedback that we receive from families every year is that it made them feel just a little bit more comfortable driving away at the end of the day. There's a QR code here to scan if you haven't registered yet, or you can find the link to register in any of the emails that you've received from us this summer. Also, just a reminder that if you're joining us live right now, tomorrow is our move-in and know before you go webinar. So all things you need to know before move-in. If you are watching the recording or listening to us on Spotify, it's likely that this recording of the move-in and know before you go webinar has already been posted. And then next Thursday, we have our family orientation know before you go. So I know you have questions about those logistics, and we're definitely going to get to those in our last two Tribe Transition webinars of our summer series. Okay, with that, I just want to give our presenters as much time as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Adam and Grace, who are here to introduce you all to the dining program. Welcome, Adam and Grace.
Thanks, Heather. We certainly appreciate it. Grace is here with us as well.
Hi, everyone.
Heather, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Let me see. How about now?
It's thinking. There we are.
Great. Yeah, Grace and I are excited and certainly appreciate everyone's patience as we rescheduled this one, but certainly wanted to have everything together for you. Looking for an exciting new year. I'll walk through some of what we can expect, the new and exciting things, as well as some program overview. Then Grace will get into some special dietary needs, and certainly we'll take questions, Q&A here at the end, and are available even afterwards via our direct contact information if there are specific things that we can work with you and your student on. But I do want to make sure that I also introduce the rest of our team. We've got over a dozen and a half leaders on campus. Our senior leadership team here, certainly myself, Joanne Havlin's our Director of Operations, our Executive Chef, Jeremy Williams, Grace, again, who we'll talk later, our Chef Manager, Dominique, and our Food Service Director. Most of the entire team that we have on campus has been with us for the 3+ years that we've been here on campus. So very familiar with the program, with the campus community, and how we can best engage students as we move forward. You know, one of the things that several of the things that we work on is how we do and provide for the campus community, making sure that we have those fresh, sustainably products, sourced products, organic, local as much as we can from a chef-inspired on-trend menu standpoint. The tools that we utilize, so we'll talk through that with Grace later on how you can best use the websites, how you can best use the app, and down to the Text Assist program and our Golden Apron program, so you can interact with us on multiple different platforms how best to serve the student in that campus community, and making sure that we're gathering all that information so that we can provide the best possible program for students from a satisfactory standpoint as we move forward. It's something that we've worked on since we've come on 3+ years ago, is using that student feedback, that engagement to build the program for the future. In conjunction with that, some awards and recognition. You can see a couple reviews there, most recently from the Niche platform. But Grace and Jeremy, our executive chef, along with the entire team, have done a fantastic job around nutrition and special diet specifically. You can see it. We had a silver award there at NACUFS, moving up every year on Spoken's list of most best allergen programs in the country. We started in the top 100 and just recently moved up from the 80s to number 44. Are a nominee there for National Food Allergy Awards. Guardian of the Brand is a Chick-fil-A award. So when you score in the top 5% of Chick-fil-A's, you achieve that. We've done that 3+ years running now, which is extremely rare in the Chick-fil-A world. And then our A+ rating from PETA there as our vegan and vegetarian menus across campus. You know, when I mentioned that, some of the special things that we do across campus in the residential side of things in the dining halls is specifically our Passport series. We started that 2 years ago with Monica Segal, who you can see there in that first picture with the Art of the Spice, bringing in international renowned chefs with Michelin stars, chefs in the Hall of Fame from a James Beard standpoint, and having them present, interact, and work with the station. So not just with our culinarians behind the lines, but coming out in front and presenting to students, engaging with them, giving them something extra, something special as a part of that residential program. That originally was recognized by NACUS with their Edwin R. Golden Award for Inclusive Excellence. So making sure that all our students in the campus community feel heard, feel welcomed, and have that taste of home. You know, as we get into this, certainly impactful things from a meal plan standpoint. So we'll walk through this, and as Heather mentioned earlier, we'll take some Q&A later on. But I'll walk through those pieces there from a new student, first year coming in, that all access plan. We'll have those unlimited swipes, so that'll be available at the Commons Dining Hall as we start the year, as well as Marketplace, as those all you care to eat programs. They'll also have 2 gold passes, so that's a meal exchange swipe, 2 per all access plan, 2 per week. It doesn't roll over, it doesn't accumulate, but it does allow some flexibility in that. Those gold passes can be used specifically at Sadler, the food hall upstairs. And we'll go over who's going to be there, but exciting new retail offerings there from some local and regional partners. And then dining dollars, flexible tax-free dining, can be used at Student Exchange, can be used at Chick-fil-A. Simply, there's a flat amount loaded on there, and it works as just a debit. On the go. So Grubhub is our platform for mobile ordering, for ordering ahead. That's available at Chick-fil-A. That's available at Sadler. That'll be available across campus. When you log on to Grubhub, that's the way to also find out who's on campus from a food truck standpoint, and who's available and when. And our partners like Domino's, the Bake Shop, also can order ahead, and then you can pick up. Speed of service attaches to the meal plan, attaches to those gold passes. The most convenient way to order quickly and pick up and stay moving, especially throughout the day. Hours of operation. Our Commons Dining Hall is going to have that continuous dining without interruption throughout the day, and that's 7 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. So that dining hall experience will continue, same as last year into this year for students. Very flexible, full stations open all the way up until we close at midnight. The food hall at Sadler, see the biggest changes this year in the update with the retail offerings that we have there. The Halal Shack, you can see their times. Vivi's Mexican Cuisine, a local partner that we're bringing on board. Giacomino's Italian Deli, very excited to have them on campus. Giacomo makes all his own meats, very clean, very fresh, local here. Um, Revolve, that'll be a local partner station where we rotate that on a weekly basis, with the exception that Sunday evenings for dinner, Ama's Curry in a Hurry and the local Spice Palace restaurant will be serving in there so that we have an abundance of offerings all the way through 7 days a week, as you can see the varied times there. Marketplace, again, we'll have continuous service for that lunch period Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 3:30. And then the rest of our retail offerings throughout on campus and our local partners around campus. This will also be available on the website as it's on the recording and on that app as well. Our campus map, this will be available as well. You can see the locations as it's spread out. Certainly Sadler, from that standpoint, also houses the Student Exchange, also houses Town Center Cold Press, as well as Bento Sushi in there as well. And you can move around campus, certainly see the flexibility in there from our cafes as students move. And then certainly Marketplace, as we get into that, as the additional All to Care to Eat program begins back this year. As I mentioned, those new retail partners, the Halal Shack is a regional partner that we're bringing on the campus. Vivi's Mexican Cuisine, that's an expanded local partner who's coming in to open up inside of Sadler. Giacomino's, that deli concept. Revolve, I talked about. I didn't mention Ben and Jerry's, but they are coming on board. Most likely that'll be in the spring semester. We're still working through some of those details, but that is someone that we're very excited about. Ben and Jerry's will be on campus with their food truck and with their cart, especially at the beginning of the year when we see the warm weather. I'm going to turn it over to Grace, who's our registered dietitian on campus, and she'll continue to talk about the other offerings and things that we have. Grace?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Barbero. I am the registered dietitian here on campus. So one of the resources that's available to you and your students through our dining program. So whether it be food allergies, intolerances, navigating any other special dietary concerns, or just wanting to work together to support your overall wellness, I'm available as a resource. So I do one-on-one consultations with students, I do dining hall tours, even personalized meal planning, essentially whatever you need in terms of health and wellness, I'm here as a resource. You can see my contact information below. I definitely recommend, even if it's just a question or concern, feel free to reach out and we can go ahead and schedule some time and talk through some of those specific concerns further. We do have some resources available for you all, and these will be available on our website as well. You can see our overall allergen guide. So in there, kind of talks a little bit about some of our offerings on campus, including our True Balance station. That is our allergen-friendly station. It'll be available at Commons and Marketplace. Everything there is made without the top 9 allergens plus gluten, and everything is prepared at that station to minimize that cross-contact risk. Also in that guide, you can learn a little bit more about our Stress Less Zone, where you can find some of those packaged gluten-free items, as well as some more of the specific guides. So feel free to scan those QR codes to view those as well. We have our guide that goes over our options for made without gluten, our kosher guide, some of those plant-based options for those who are vegetarian or vegan, and then our halal options as well. We also have the link down below to our website. So there you can view all of our daily menus for our residential. You can view the nutrition facts. You can view the ingredients, the allergen statements, and also a lot of other nutritional information. And all of our contact information is on there. So if you ever have a question about navigating the website or some of the resources on there, like I said, feel free to reach out. So jumping into more of our sustainability practices. So we're continuing our partnership with Too Good to Go. Some of you may have heard of this program. It's a mobile app where you can view some of the food options that get posted on there. It's a program that is designed to reduce food waste, but then also provide food options to those at a reduced cost. So, let's say a store made too much, or here in the dining program, if we, are selling product or have things available to students, we will post it on there. And you all are available to buy it and purchase it at that reduced cost. So again, supporting the environment by reducing food waste, but then also supporting you all by giving you some options at maybe a reduced cost. We also are excited to continue some of our local partnerships. We work with 4P Foods, which helps us bring in foods from local and regional farmers. So we can bring some of those foods into the dining hall, into catered events, into cooking demos, and really work to support that local community. We also have a partnership with the Williamsburg Farmers Market. So as you may have seen in a previous slide, you can use your dining dollars for vouchers there to be able to not only support the community, but get some of those foods within your dining plan. We also collaborate with a lot of small women and minority-owned businesses. So I think last year in 2025, we worked with over 50 local farmers and businesses. One of my favorites is No Nuts Donuts. She prepares vegan, nut-free, gluten-free products. So we'll bring it onto campus and collaborate with pop-up events and tastings and cooking demos and all of that. So continuing our partnerships with some of our local partners is definitely a pride point for us. And then the benefits of the meal plan extend beyond just having some of those options that we just covered. We also plan events that are catered towards you, your students, hopefully giving you a little bit additional thing to look forward to and create those memories outside of the classroom. So you can see here just some examples of events that we have for this upcoming semester. We do big events like our Welcome Back celebration, our Back to School cookout. We have our carnival, our midnight breakfasts on the last day of classes, as well as some upcoming passport series as well. We also have some small events there, so celebrating National Food Days by, incorporating new special menu items into our dining hall. You can see here some of my Wellness Wednesdays where I, talk about a different nutritional or wellness topic and usually have some sort of hands-on engagement or build your own component to that. We also have cooking demos like the seasonal saute, which also focuses on some of the locally grown, Virginia grown produce. So definitely have a lot of exciting, fun events planned for you all. And so feel free to follow us on our social media. That's where you can find all of the updates, all of the event schedule, and more of the updates in real time. Here are just some photos from some events that we had last year. As you can see in the top left, the blender bike, that is one of mine from Wellness Wednesday. Always a fan favorite. So you'll see that again on the first day of classes around campus. We have our plant to plate dinner down below. So that was a completely vegan dinner. Again, included in your dining program and your meal plan with just a swipe into the dining hall. We have some of our other themed events. You can see we had our carnival with that big turkey leg, some of the barbecue. We had, the game night where you could see students playing basketball. So definitely some exciting things that happen in our dining program to, again, create that different experience and give you all something to look forward to and create those memories with friends. So here's where you can connect with us and some of the resources that are available to you through the dining program. So we do have a text assist line, and this is a great way to communicate with the dining team in real time. If you have questions, comments, concerns, feedback, really anything that you want to share or, hopefully get some dialogue back, definitely recommend using that text assist line. You can see the number there. You just text WM Dining to 78779, followed by your messaging, and then we get that. Myself, Adam, Jeremy, our executive chef, our chef managers, we all get those messages, and then we're able to respond in real time. So definitely a great resource to connect with us. If you're looking for more of that face-to-face, maybe initial reaction in the dining hall, our Golden Apron program is going to be another really great resource for you. Our team with our Golden Aprons are trained to answer your request, your questions, and really guide you in the direction of someone who may know the answer if they don't know the answer. So if you see any of our team members wearing that William & Mary Gold apron, always feel free to go up to them and ask them any questions you may have, because again, they're trained to be a resource for you, so don't hesitate to use them. And then lastly, just visit us online. So like I said, that's where you can find our contact information, all of our menus. And so definitely check out that and some of the resources there. And then lastly, just following us on social media. Like I said, that's going to be the place where we post all of our updates, all of our event schedules, our food truck schedule, really anything related to dining will be posted on our social media. So you can just follow us on Instagram and Facebook at WM Dining to check that out. But yeah, we're happy to answer any questions. The QR code here will take you to our website as well to view some of that information that we just covered. But thank you.
Thank you, Grace. We certainly appreciate that. And, I think the only thing I can stress a little bit more is that text assist program. I know, like Grace said, myself and she and the leadership team are on that, but so are all the chefs that are in the dining halls, that are in the retail outlets. So our average response time is less than 2 minutes per that text assist. So most of the time, we are able to get back in real time to students with questions, and that doesn't have to necessarily be about a dietary or special need. It can be, what are the hours, or where can I find that website, or how do I set up a consultation with Grace, and we can get that information to them pretty quickly and effortlessly as well through that text assist program. Heather?
Yeah, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Adam. Families, if you have questions, now is the time to submit those into the Q&A, and I'll see if we can get to as many as we have time for. Someone asked, and I do want to start off the top, this is one of my favorite features of William & Mary's dining program, and I tell families about it all the time, which is, can dining dollars be used for groceries? So I'm curious if you could give an overview of like that kind of retail style, go in and get something, and also just reiterating the farmers market option with dining dollars as well.
Sure. Dining dollars, whether that's at Student Exchange or the Tribe Market. So as Commons is open, Tribe Market will be open as well over in that dining hall. The Student Exchange is a larger convenience store that's located in the Sadler Center, fully stocked to SNAP benefits. So there's a number of groceries and common toiletries and items in there as well. So you can certainly use that in either one of those locations. And then specifically, going down to the farmers market and allowing as many vendors as we can. We do a voucher program. So we only have to set up the farmers market as a partner, but then that gives you access to every one of the vendors at the farmers market. So if you want to go down and buy some fresh produce or dairy products or meat or anything along those lines, you can stop down at the Student Exchange and buy those vouchers with your dining dollars. Or our sustainability interns are actually at a kiosk at the front of the farmers market those Saturday mornings, and you can use Grubhub to redeem your dining dollars for vouchers there, and then redeem those at those partners throughout the farmers market. So truly some flexibility there, and where you can get both groceries and where you can get the vouchers for the for farmers market. Even if you're just walking down for some coffee, there's some great options down there. So, and you'll see a number of our team down there as well. It's a great time. Williamsburg has a pretty robust farmers market. We're very happy with them as partners.
Yeah, I love our farmers market. I tell families when they ask me for recommendations of things to do in Williamsburg, I say they themselves should take a walk through our farmers market. It's a wonderful Saturday morning activity, and I always see William and Mary students there, even if they just want like fresh flowers for their room or something like that. There are so many wonderful opportunities. I think it's such a creative way for them to use part of their meal plan and to just be part of our local community.
Its location's great.
Oh yeah, it's so convenient. Can dining dollars be used on the Too Good to Go program?
The dining dollars are not able to be utilized on that Too Good to Go program. So that is more of a credit card based program, but it is greatly discounted for those products that are moving there. That is something that we'll look at for the future. It's more of an integration piece, but right now that's new to campus, but certainly something that we're looking at to expanding in years to come. But at the moment, it's just that way, and it's I would say students can sign up and monitor it, and we'll get to it as we move forward.
I'm wondering if you could give an overview of how families can add dining dollars to their students' plan.
So there will be there's links to the website where students can add that to the program there, and we can share that out as part of the information afterwards if you'd like.
That would be wonderful. And then Taylor might be able to find the link for us and drop it in the chat while we're talking. Okay. Is there any other way to find out about events that are happening in the dining program if students aren't as connected on social media? How are other ways that students might find out about those events?
There is a newsletter that comes out on a regular basis for all dining plan members, so you can monitor it that way. Certainly, it's posted physically, as you saw that calendar in the PowerPoint in the locations. So, in addition to social media, it'll be posted physically in the locations, but also come out in that newsletter ahead of time.
Okay. Will there be any breakfast options at the food hall at Sadler with our new retail partners?
There will be. We're looking at that. Vivi's will be open for breakfast 6 days a week, Saturday excluded. And then,
Oh, we
Oh,
may have,
I think that Adam's laptop just died on
yes,
us.
we may have lost him, but while we wait for him to jump back, I can wrap up what he was saying. But yeah, so Vivi's will offer breakfast for Sunday through Friday, so giving students that breakfast option. We also have downstairs at Sadler Town Center Cold Press, so that'll continue to operate through Dining Dollars as well. So yeah, so definitely having some breakfast options available at Food Hall at Sadler.
Thank you. All right. Someone asked if this session was recorded. Yes. So this session was recorded and will be uploaded just like all of our normal webinars. All right. Okay, Grace, this is a great question for you. If a student has a certain need for an accommodation, how do you typically approach working with students in that way? They've named a specific, but I'll just say generally, like let's say that there is some sort of dietary concern. How do you approach working with students and getting those accommodations for them?
Yeah, great question. I definitely encourage students to reach out to me directly, and we can walk through that further and see, what potential accommodation may be best. Even if it's, an accommodation we can provide through the dining program. We work with students, not only with those with some of the top 9, but also those with maybe allergies outside of the top 9 who aren't able to dine directly off the station. Myself, Jeremy, our culinary team, Adam, we're able to support those students. And so we definitely take it a case by case basis, but most of the times we're able to support you and give you those options. So definitely encourage those to reach out directly, and we can go from there.
Wonderful. Okay, looking through our questions here. Grace, could you talk about which locations accept swipes and which only accept dining dollars?
Yeah, absolutely. So Commons Dining Hall is our one of our residential spaces. So that one is going to be the one that's open from 7 a.m. to midnight. And that will accept swipes. So you can swipe in, and it's all you care to eat. So you can explore some of the other stations and kind of mix and match depending on your meal and what you want. And then Marketplace will be open from that 10:30 to 3:30 time period. We'll also accept swipes, but it'll just be open for kind of that the lunch rush on Monday through Friday. So both of those locations do accept swipes. And then the Gold Pass, which is available at the food hall at Sadler, so those new retail locations, all access plan holders will have those 2 passes per week. So can also use 2 swipes per week at that food hall at Sadler locations.
This is a great question. What is the conversion rate between dining dollars and farmers market vouchers? Are they 1-to-1?
It's a 1-for-1.
Welcome back, Adam.
Sorry about that. Power. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm back.
That is okay. Someone has asked if the slideshow will be posted. So yes, I'll make sure I get a copy of the presentation so that we can link that with the webinar recording when we send that out via email and on our website. Can you please explain the Gold Pass since this is new?
Sure, absolutely. So all access plan holders, incoming first year students will have basically 2 additional swipes on their plan, and those can be used for items over at Sadler Retail. So instead of utilizing your dining dollars, you'll have 2 of those a week. They don't roll over, they don't accumulate, but you have 2 every week to utilize. similar to a bonus. So you've got those to assist with anything that you want over at Sadler, and they'll be marked as a meal exchange piece on there. So they'll be roughly a third to half the menu will be featured on that. Students can utilize that for that specific item or use it to and use it in supplement with dining dollars to upgrade if you wanted something larger or more premium from that standpoint. But it does allow a lot of flexibility at Sadler.
Where could families find more information on which dining plans are available to students and how they purchase those dining dollars? So I know when we're talking like our first and second year residential students, they may not have those options, but as they become upperclassmen, maybe choose to live off campus, where can they find more information about meal plan options?
So on the website, we do have a breakdown for all of those individual plans, and that's something that students can also then look at, whether that's a block plan, which still comes with certain Gold Pass options and dining dollars, in addition to those swipes that you see. And then you've got really, I think it's for till the add drop date of every academic year to try that. So you may find that you need more, you may find that you need less based on that schedule as it relates to your academic load that semester. So there's some flexibility at the beginning of each semester to try those out. And we often encourage students to try that one block plan or two block plans out and see which one fits best for them, so that you can have it in place for the rest of the semester. But that's all available on the website. And again, if you run into any challenges, and parents alike, you can shoot us an email or even via that text assist, and we can point you in the right direction to assist with loading that a few more dining dollars on if you need to.
Okay. I have a question here. When signing up for Grubhub, is there a William & Mary specific Grubhub they should be signing up for? Is it just a personal Grubhub account? How does that typically work?
When you get on the campus, we'll have those QR codes. It will work with orientation. It's one of the things that they assist us with in providing that information. Same with pushing the text assist number to make sure that everybody's on the correct one. You'll want to have your tribe card early so you can load that on there, because it'll have your meal plan information accessible that way as well.
Okay. Looking at what questions we still have open. All right, I know families received an email communication update about Westwood's dining recently. Can you speak to when the expected opening date for Westwood's is?
I am not able to speak to when that opening date for Westwood's would be. I would love for it to be sooner than later, but I can't elaborate on that. Our focus has been very much so on making sure that whatever building we're in, it is the most exceptional experience that students can have. And that's one of the things that we've been working with Business Affairs Auxiliary Services to make sure that what we do have available is operating at the experience level that we want for students. Westwoods is certainly a beautiful facility. I think we've all at least seen it and walked by it, but there's a few more things that need to be done. But we're very excited about what we have this year, with what we can do at Sadler, with the number of food truck partners that we're bringing onto campus, and how we're going to continue to elevate the program through special events and through that menu.
Thank you. If families do have questions, more in-depth questions, feedback, or questions, what is the best email address for them to reach out to?
If they want to reach out to that dining email, dining@wnm.edu, that way we can filter that through, whether that's a dietary need for Grace, if that's a mobility question that we need to loop in student accessibility services on, if it's an operational piece that I can assist with. Happy to do that. They're certainly welcome to reach out directly to Grace. She's got her information. My information's available as well for direct emails. Any one of those, and we'll be happy to assist with that. Whether that's setting up a phone call, just answering some questions specific to their student, we're happy to do that. And that's something that we've done every year.
Thank you. Okay. As an incoming freshman, do you need to sign up separately for a meal plan, or are you automatically enrolled?
So the default plan is the all access one. I would encourage you to still to go in and look at that and validate that and make sure that you and your student understand that. So if they have any questions now, later, during the semester, they can reach out. And as Grace jumped in for me earlier, when I had my power issue. Like any one of us can answer those questions. And if we can't, we can find the right team member who can. So happy to assist with any of that.
Okay. If a student has used both of their swipes and their dining dollars, can they use normal cash and normal money at Sadler to purchase a meal?
They can, whether there'll be kiosks set up there, or they can do that via Grubhub if they've attached it to their Grubhub account. So they can do all of that. Visitors are welcome to come in and utilize the kiosk or a Grubhub if they sign up for one, but the kiosk will be there as well.
Do dining dollars roll over? Are they per semester, per year? How does that typically work?
So dining dollars will roll from fall to spring, but not past spring. So it's really for the academic year.
When you swipe into Sadler, this is a technical question. When you swipe into Sadler at one of the retail providers, is it going to default to Gold Pass first and then go to dining dollars? Do you have to choose? Is that a selection they're going to make in the Grubhub app? How will that work?
So Sadler, you won't swipe into. So look at this as a food court, what some of us would have seen in a mall. I don't know how, malls, not that they're popular much anymore, but
what a throwback, right? Adam.
I know. I'm showing my age, Heather. But when you go into Sadler, there'll be those individual stations in that location. So even if students, family, friends are coming to visit, they can just walk into Sadler. You don't have to swipe into Sadler. So there'll be a free flow for that. And I think that'll be a positive experience with the rest of the building as well. You can order from Grubhub from your seat, from anywhere in the building if you're walking towards Sadler, and then that'll be ready when you get there. Or when you get there, you can be waiting at a table. But you'll do that on an individual order basis. And then when you're placing that order, you'll select whether you want to use that meal exchange, right? Whether you want to use dining dollars, whether you want to use credit on that based on what you have available and what you're looking for on that menu standpoint. And then you can go from there.
Okay. Is there somewhere that breaks down number of swipes, dining dollars that students have, and what locations take which? Do we have a resource like that?
We do have a meal plan brochure that we are revising that'll be out shortly. And I can share that with you when marketing finishes that revamp of it. And we can certainly share that with parents, and we can certainly have that on the website as well as soon as it's available in the very in the days to come. It'll be available.
Yeah, so families, be on the lookout for that in your upcoming newsletter. We'll make sure once we get that resource, as soon as it's done, we'll make sure it's included in emails to families as well. Okay. All right. Okay, someone has asked a question, Adam, maybe you can speak to, or Grace. Can you talk about the current lettuce situation? And food sourcing, food safety is the general theme of the question.
Food safety, from that standpoint, Aramark, as a very large provider, keeps us very, very much in tune with that. We get regular updates on that, and they track that. So we've been very fortunate, and I'll knock on my wooden desk here, that none of our suppliers have seen that or have that come across our plate. From that perspective, we're also doing our best to source from locals like 4Ps and local partners. So, participating from a SWAM standpoint in those local providers assist us in avoiding situations like that you maybe see on the national scale. It doesn't mean we're immune, but it is something that we monitor very closely, and that we get updates both from the corporate side, but also from our regional team of culinary experts. So as we see that, we will certainly keep the campus community updated, adjust menus accordingly, but we haven't seen that infiltrate any one of our local providers or pieces, but it is something that we maintain a close eye on, and we'll continue to do so. We do that from a food safety standpoint. We also do it from an availability and a shortage standpoint. There's going to be times when we have a run on strawberries, and I'll get questions like, why aren't there berries? We'll try to supplement that with something else that's comparable, but we'll continue to do our best to keep it safe, but also seasonal and fresh from that perspective.
Thank you. Just to clarify, a Gold Pass is counted as one meal swipe?
It's counted as one meal swipe. It's really for that meal exchange, for that retail experience at Sadler, upstairs at the food hall. There'll be options listed on that menu. Those partners are all finalizing those as they're beginning to come in, and those will go on the website the same as the other menus at the dining halls when they're available.
This is a two-part question. So where and what times of the day can students use their all-inclusive meal plan without having to use their dining dollars or having to use that gold pass? And the second piece, which maybe you can tie these together, Adam, is which dining locations are expected to be the most busy during peak meal periods? And how are we managing the capacity and loads given our dining hall inventory?
Well, and I appreciate that. I'll start off with, the all access swipes plans can be used. The all access could be used at Commons and eventually Westwoods. But right now it'll be Commons and Marketplace. So Commons will be open 7 a.m. to midnight daily, 7 days a week, and that's continuous service with all stations. So that you could go into Commons 10 times a day if you wanted to. That all access plan is not going to decrease. You're going to have that. But that also includes if you wanted to go to lunch at Marketplace during that 10:30 to 3:30 time frame, you could go in twice. You could go in 3 times. It's unlimited access to those two facilities, and that's until Westwoods comes online. Westwoods is a larger facility, more centrally located, but it will have more stations and more seating. So when we looked at this all combined, Westwoods had 900-ish plus seats from that standpoint. Commons plus Marketplace will have that capacity. And then when you also include Sadler, we're exceeding that, especially with the Gold Pass. So at least twice a week that you'll be able to utilize that. And when you look at that, that spreads it very evenly amongst those facilities. Sadler doesn't go away. We do look for Sadler to stay busy, especially with its location. And then Westwoods will bring it a little bit closer to that central part of campus and those number of seats. So at no point in time will we lose seating capacity on campus. Some locations will adjust and will change. Generally speaking, on campus, lunch is the busiest point, which is what we've tried to assist this campus community with what we structured for the fall. In the foreseeable future, just for right now until Westwoods is available. But we're working to manage that. And I'd also say that's in addition to Chick-fil-A. That's all the cafes that we still have. And Town Center, Cold Press, and the others offer food, same as Bowley. And then we'll have food trucks on campus daily. And those dining dollars can be utilized there as well. From the grilled cheese food truck to Ben and Jerry's to Ama's, as I mentioned earlier. We've got a number of new ones coming online, as well as some favorites coming back.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think it gives a good lay of the land of timing and seating capacity options. Okay. Is there a way for students to access their current meal plan status? Where would they go to check their current meal plan status? How many dining dollars or swipes that they have used?
So if they want to go on, they can access that through their tribe card, and they can see how many swipes they've used. Again, they've gotten all access, but they'll also see the status if they used one or two or both of their gold passes, I should say. And then they can check the balance on their dining dollars. I mean, it works just as like a debit card would, right? So you start off with that 500 and then it deducts just based on how you use it. But you're able to monitor that, and then they can reload as needed if needed, based on how they're pacing throughout the year. Oh, and there's the link, I think.
Yep, it looks
Taylor
like
put it
Taylor
there.
dropped it in the chat for us. Okay. Is the Grubhub app the only way to order food at Sadler, or is there an option for them to just stand in line and order at the counter?
So based on the transaction piece, it would need to be through that Grubhub. Now they can come in and use the kiosk that's there, and there'll be some kiosks available in the event that they don't have a Grubhub app or something happens. So they'll have that ability as well. But that's the primary. Grubhub will be the primary mean for that transaction and that ordering system. Again, looking to speed that up. You'll still have a face-to-face, and you'll be able to touch base with the team members that are there during pickup or if you have questions while it's being made. But that's the primary way, whether it's the kiosk or the app.
Is there any way for parents to be able to see the dining dollar balance, or is that something that's only available to students?
I would say your students would need to allow you access to that. So that's Not something I could share, but that would be up to them to share. Ideally, they would share it with you before they're at zero, but
Sometimes it'll happen in the moment. A text that they're
yes,
they're headed over to the bake shop. um,
yes.
yes. Can you speak a little bit? Actually, I don't. We may have touched on this, but can you speak a little bit about some of the off-campus partners that if they're wandering around, that they may be able to use their dining dollars at?
In addition to the farmers market that we talked about, Domino's locally here, right? They can call, order, deliver, have that during Domino's business hours, and that's on the Grubhub app. And the same as the bake shop, just behind Chick-fil-A, I think, just a street over. So not far from campus, and a beautiful walk in a very nice area. So it's a great experience if they're looking for something. They're taking a little bit of a walk. I think students, if you're going to the farmers market and you're doing that on a Saturday, I think it's a great experience. So, that in addition to the food trucks that we're bringing on the campus on a regular rotation, add the variety to it, that keeps students excited.
Yep. I can say as a Williamsburg local, I always try to beat the morning student rush at the bake shop because they love to use their dining dollars there. So families, when you're in town visiting, maybe they will treat you to a bagel sandwich or a coffee over at the bake shop. Okay. Similar to DoorDash, are there any extra charges for using Grubhub?
Not for not above and beyond on campus. I do believe the bake shop, just based on the style of service that they use, there's a service fee, but that may be the only one. I'd have to double check on Domino's, but again, that's based on delivery. So there's some additional services you're getting with that. But from an on-campus standpoint, no. Those two off-campus, maybe. I did need to double check that, but I would encourage the students just to be mindful of that when you're ordering.
Yep. Grace, I have a question for you. So, as students are learning to navigate William and Mary and all of the different food options, maybe they're coming with ADHD or ADD or something that they need just a little bit of help making sense of everything. Is that something that they might make an appointment with you, Student Accessibility Services? What would you recommend as they're orienting themselves to campus?
Yeah, I think we work closely with Student Accessibility Services and have a good relationship there. So either one, like I said, I always recommend reaching out to me and we can kind of schedule that appointment, talk in further details, and then always connect with Student Accessibility Services to make sure that, whatever accommodation is necessary and best to support you is in place. So student accessibility will kind of do the same. So if you reach out to them first and it's any piece related to dining or eating or wellness, they'll kind of refer you back to me. So either one is fine. That's why I always just recommend, reaching out and then we can go from there.
Right. Okay, looking at our questions, I know we still have a few open questions about Westwoods. I would recommend that if you have any additional questions about Westwoods, the opening timeline, feedback, or concerns for William and Mary, you can either send those to dining@wm.edu if you are curious specifically about food options and availability for your student. Any feedback, questions, or concerns, you can send those to auxiliary services, and I'll ask Taylor to drop those email addresses here in the chat for us right now. So I'll give her just a second to do that. I do know that if there are any updates that need to be shared with families, I work in close partnership with these teams and will send you those updates as you've received in your inbox recently. So we will keep you up to date there. Grace and Adam, thank you so much for spending some time with us. They both will be present at family orientation. So if you have questions about dining, there are some really specific sessions at the School of Education during your breakout session rounds, and you can interact with the team there, but also at our Connections Fair, so tabling opportunities where you can speak with them in person. So any of those questions we weren't able to get to, Taylor is dropping those email addresses in the chat, but also just know that the team will be around at orientation and ready to have those conversations with you. So thank you both for joining us. Thank you, families, for attending today. And I will see you actually, families, just tomorrow on our Move In, Know Before You Go webinar. If you're watching the recording, you can press play on that one next. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you.